right, time to take a look at the East Oak Firepit. Got a little envelope. Oh, that's kind of cool. So, certificate of authenticity, unique product ID. Okay, so we got a 3-year warranty and the manual. Looks like we got a whole bunch of different sizes. We got our stainless steel and our black. I believe this one is the black. Looks like we got nice and well-labeled instructions. Oh, that's great. So this is what they call the burning disc kit. So we can see we got our ashtray on the bottom and we got our grill on the top. So all the ash is going to be able to fall through these holes and then right into the bottom. That's one of the things I really like about this particular stove is you can just lift the whole thing right out. Whereas other ones you have to like grab the whole thing and try to tilt it out, like put a trash can over it. Everything here is going to be fully contained. So that is awesome. And it also has this ring here. So you can use your fire hook to grab that and pull it up. So you don't have to get your hands on here and get them all messy. We got corner protectors. So that's good. I mean, really nice, good packaging. And this is just for the foam. And so this is our fire poker, fire stick, or fire rod, whatever you want to call it. Comes in 2 pieces. So you've got a little protector on there. That's kind of cool. So this just threads together. If you wanted to, you could use some lock thread or something like that to hold this thing, but I don't think you're going to need it. Okay. We can pop that off. And they made this easy for us, so this is going to be able to easily fit through that loop to pull this out. Okay, so they got this thing packed up so that it's upside down, but this is the fire gathering ring. So the idea behind this guy, you can see how it kind of angles in, and it's going to force that fire to lift, but also condense. So it's going to kind of concentrate, and that's going to give you a kind of almost like a jet effect. It's also going to help with things like embers, anything that would normally just glide up the wall and then fall on the ground. You don't have to worry about that as much with this. So this is a very cool thing to have. All right, now for the main event. So one thing I can immediately say is that this 21-inch version is probably perfect for anything that I'm going to be doing. You can get bigger ones, but I mean, the bigger that you have, you want to get that fire really rolling, and the bigger fire pit that you have, the more wood you have to put into it to make it really work. But this smaller size can give me the heat that I want without having to use as much wood or as much fuel. I actually really like that. And if we look in the bottom, we can see how this thing's going to work. Actually, this is cool. So a lot of these things, they actually come with a ring that you can install on the bottom. This one has feet built in, so you don't have to buy that extra accessory. You don't have to carry around 2 things. Everything is just kind of here already. So that's nice. It's going to help to keep it off the ground. You got all that extra space also to help the air come in from the bottom. But this is going to be the main air intake. So when you get that fire going, all the air is going to be coming in here and then going to be sucking out the top. But you can also see this lip under here. So this is actually double walled, so that air is going to come in here and this is going to give you your secondary burn. You'll actually be able to see the effect of that later. But that's what makes this a smokeless fire pit. So what's going to happen is the fire is going to develop in here. It's going to start making smoke. And at the beginning, it will still make smoke, so it's not completely smokeless. But after that fire really starts getting going, it's going to allow the oxygen to come through here, come out the top, and it's going to refeed the fire. So it's going to reburn the smoke that would normally shoot out the top, so you're not going to have that smoke smell throughout your clothes and all that nasty stuff. So that is what makes this a smokeless fire pit, and worth every penny in my opinion. The second thing is because it has this wall right here, this makes it much easier to light a fire on a breezy day. Normally, like if you're trying to light a lighter, you have to put a wall around it. This is a wall that's going to help to protect the fire from the breeze, to help to get it going and to keep it going. Then the oxygen just comes in from the bottom, feeds the fire, and this is just a much easier thing to operate. So when you get your fire going, you don't want to have to move this thing. So you want to put this in a spot where it's not going to be interfering with anything. You want to put too close to a house or a tree or anything like that. But I also have these nice brick pavers. I want to protect these things. I'm not really worried about it getting hot. What I am worried about is going to be things like embers that are going to be falling on top of it, and then people stepping on it and mashing that into the ground. So I've got this ember mat. So that way, if anything does pop out, it's just going to land on that, and I'll be able to pack all that up after we're done. There's a lot of ways to start a fire. The traditional way to do it is you want to start with something loose that's easily flammable, like paper, or, just any kind of loose material. So they call that tinder. And you got kindling, which is small sticks. So first you start the tinder, you use that to light the kindling, and as that starts going, then you start putting logs in it, and you just build that up and up until you actually get a good roaring fire. Another option is you can get what they call a fire starter, which is going to be a little brick, and it's usually some kind of loose material that's really easily lightable, and it burns fairly hot. So you just throw that thing in, light that on fire, and then you can start putting your logs directly on top of that. Now I'm even lazier than that, so I just got a log like this. So all we're going to do here is we're going to light right here and here where those 2 red arrows are, and it's going to take care of everything else. Easy mode. So these logs say that they take about 5 minutes to really get going. And once they do get going, you can put other logs on top of that. So you can use this just to start the fire, to get it going, to get something kind of substantial going. And then put your regular firewood on top of that. Well, I'm just going to be using this, and we'll see how this works. So it's on the way, and I'm probably going to put another 1 or 2 on there. But for right now, what I can definitely tell is that it is plenty warm right here just with 1. So I wouldn't call this smokeless at the moment just because we're not getting that secondary burn, but this is a super comfortable fire that we can have just right here on top of our pavers. It is important to note that we don't want to stack anything above those holes because we don't want to have anything above that secondary burn. So I put this on just to get it lighted. I put it on top of the other log, but I'm probably going to flip that around and set it down inside after it gets going. But yeah, we are getting a lot of heat now, so that's great. So we've been going about 5 minutes now, so they are starting to get there. At least the bottom one is starting to really get there. Just a matter of getting enough fuel in there for that secondary burn. Now let's give it a little while longer since I just put that other log in. That's starting to look real nice too. There we go, we are about there. We'll bring the camera back a little bit. I definitely don't want to get too close to it, but if you look right here on the edges, you can start to see those flames shooting in from those holes. And that is just a beautiful look. Mesmerizing.